Hello, everyone, and welcome to week number 3 of the IPDL. This week we take on Shader. This week we take on the team on the screen here. Of course, we are facing Kyurem in the Slowking Galar combo. We have Ogerpon Wellspring, a Tornadius T, a Heatran, Hoopa Unbound, Tera Captain Zarude, Donphan, Okidoki, Porygon Z, Rabombi, and Houndstone. I'm normally not that great against Shader, but we'll see how we do this week. Looking at his team, obvious sets are of course the Kyurem. Freeze Dry is able to deal with Alomomola as well as if he's able to get a D-Dance on, Garchomp is probably going to faint to it. Darkrai, unless I defensive Terra into a water type or something of that nature, is also going to end up perishing to it. The only things I do good is Metagross and Scissor are both good against Kyurem in this matchup, so I do have ways and where around it. Slowking Galar can be annoying to break. If I lose Darkrai, I don't have much else that can actually break it. Um, Slowking Darkrai Garchomp are good into it, but the problem is Garchomp dies to Kyurem. Garchomp can have a sometimes hard time against the Ogerpon Wellspring, so Darkrai might struggle with things against such like Hoopa Unbound, certain Tera Zarudes, Rabombi, etc. So it could be a dangerous Pokemon to watch out. A Wellspring I think is dangerous for me in general. It can take on Keldeo and Cinderace really well. Cinderace's only thing to hit is Gunk Shot, and that either gives him a free Heatran switch in, Okie Dokie switch in, or even Slowking Killer, so I don't really know if that's a big counter. Thundy T can deal with it, but the problem is if I switch it in, since it is faster, it could two-shot it. So it's going to be a dangerous Pokemon, and Pokemon I'm going to have to figure out how to deal with. Torn-T is fast. Its fast as Cinderace could be a problem as well, although I don't think it's as big of a problem as Thundy T kind of just completely walls it here. So I think I could come and deal with it as long as I keep Thundy alive. Too big a problem. Heatran dies to Garchomp and Alomomola, but otherwise it's actually a decent defensive Pokemon in mind with special defense. Can take on a lot of the things such as Scizor and Metagross, which I need for the Kyurem. So I'd expect to see both of them here, and the goal would be not to lose one to the other to let Kyurem or something sweep here. Hoopa Unbound has a pretty good matchup. It's not good to Florges, but Florges isn't really good to their team. I think Hoopa Unbound could be really good into my team. Weezing Galar is probably my best answer to it, so I need to keep that alive for Hoopa Unbound, but I could see that coming. Tera Zarude's scary, man. Bulk Up is just insane mood, and Jungle Healing deals with status moves, so if it could be like a Bulk Up Trailblaze, Jungle Healing, and just like a Dark knockoff move could end up sweeping my team. I think at plus 2 and 2, it outspeeds my whole entire team and probably Oko's everything that's not Scizor and Metagross, and then it could Tera Fire as well. So I cannot let that thing set up on me. I have a few ways to prevent it, with obviously Cinderace being a big threat to it. And its stereotypes are probably a little limited in being good, but I could see that definitely coming as well. Donphan is obviously it's rapid spinner. I think I like rocks to his team a lot. Problem is going to be Donphan's a pretty easy switch into everything that wants to set up rocks. And my best removal for it is Keldeo. Otherwise, I don't really have great removal for it, so it's something we're definitely going to have to watch out for. Okie dokie can wall a few things, but I don't think it's actually coming here. It struggles still against both steel types, so I highly doubt it's coming. Porygon Z I don't see coming to this match as well. While it is normal and has pretty good normal with Scarf, the two steel types both being really good here are just not, I think, great for it. And then Rabombi could always come. I think Rabombi's a Pokemon that always you have to respect. Because of webs. I do have court change and all that, but if I choose not to bring it and I bring webs and I can't remove it, I do probably just lose. So we're gonna have to watch out for that as well. And then Houndstone. Houndstone's an interesting Pokemon. Houndstone obviously has last specs and all that, but it's also pretty defensively bulky. It might do a bit of damage to Garchomp, although it is very weak to Darkrai, so it could possibly not come. I don't think it will come, but I think it's something we have to respect. I think not respecting it would be a big mistake here. So let's see the team I brought. So I brought mostly my top 6 here, minus Thundy. Cinderace going for a fun set this week. We got Big Nugget. That's right, Fling Big Nugget is here. We got the Pyro Ball to do mega damage and everything else. Low Kick to deal with the Heatran. Catching it on a switch would be great. And then Big Nugget Fling kills out Slowking variants. So catching that, be able to fling Big Nugget would be massive and help free up my excuse my yawns today. Help free up my team a lot. And then U-Turn's just a classic pivot mood. We're fast in everything minus the Torn and the aforementioned. Uh, sorry, not the Torn. Yeah, the Torn and the Rabombi. Next we have our Darkrai. We have a classic Tera Fairy set. I went for Boots. I don't really want the thing taking rock damage. Dark Pulse, Tera Fairy, Tera Blast. Focus Blast is just there in case I need it, but I expect only to click those two, and then Nasty Paw as well for the +2. We've got a classic Scale Shot Garchomp here. Being able to Scale Shot and everything be faster is great. Earthquake is just good almost in every single Pokemon. Stone Edge is there to hit the Torn and have a chance to kill it, and Esti's there. If I'm able, excuse me. Sorry, if I'm able to set up the one Scale Shot and one SD, it could possibly be game. So I think that's the entire plan, is to go through, break with this, and win with the Garchomp here. Weezing is a classic defense Pokemon here. Bold Nature, has Will-O-Wisp to burn Zarude and others just because. Haze there to stop the Zarude setup, and Kyurem setup, Strange Team, and Sludge Bomb are classic there. Next we have the Alamola here. Even with the threat of Freesia, I think it's really good. Flip turn, and we have Icy Wind to hit the Torn as well. And then Wish and Protect with the Rocky Helmet there to get some damage back. And this Stun DT is specifically built for the aforementioned Torn T. It's there to make its life hell. Thunderbolt, Grass Knot's here for the Dawn fan. Focus Blast hit the Kyurem, and then U-Turn for Pivot. I didn't bring any of the Steel types that are actually good. I'm hoping he banks too much on prepping for the Steel types and not for other things such as Thundy or this type of Garchomp set. And I think I should be able to, if I'm able to catch it by surprise and with some good play, end up winning this week. But I could see, of course, the team is a little weak to specific forms of Torn. If it's like a Nasty Plot Torn and my Darkrai goes down, or sorry, my Thundy goes down, I could have a lot of trouble into something like that. And if I just make some like bad decisions or sack off a Alomomola or Weezing too early, I could get overrun. Those are two things I have to majorly be considering here in the battle. So let's get into the battle. Here I'll flip it to our side, of course. We see no Kyurem, which is a huge shock to me. Seeing the no Kyurem was a bit of a shock. Looking again at it, I thought Kyurem and Zarude were the two main things going to come. And there's no Kyurem, no Zarude. It's the Hoopa Unbound, Donphan, which was possibility, Slowking, Heatran, the Ogerpon Wellspring, and the Torn. So looking at this team and looking at our Garchomp looks great. If I am able to just get rid of this Donphan, Garchomp should, realistically, with a little bit of backup on the Ogerpon, be able to win this game. Was my first thoughts initially going into it. My other initial thought was I don't want to let Ogerpon set up as well, because that could be it. I think set up Ogerpon or Torn is probably the worst case scenario for me. Let's look at the Teras. We see, since there's no Tera Cap, they have the basic Teras, and I have mine as well. So looking at this, I think it's either Tera Hoopa, or since the Scant Tera, or the Torn are probably your two most likely Teras here. My side, it's going to probably be the Darkrai here to take care of the Hoopa. Our worst to worst, since this cannot Tera, it would probably be at a least case scenario this Torn right here. Alright, let's get into the battle here. We lead off with Donphan, and then we have our Cinderace. Cinderace I thought was just a good lead here. It's faster than everything minus the Torn, and we get a free U-turn off. U-turn off, I'm expecting Rocks here, so I'm just going to straight into the Thundy. Expecting EQ or Rocks here, and a CQ. Could go straight for the Grass Knot here, but I highly doubt this thing to stay in. I could have Ice Spinner and try to stay in, but I think Scouting is probably better. And if I U-turn and it stays in, I know it's going for an Ice Spinner or Ice move, meaning it's a free Alomomola switch in right on it. So it's gonna switch out, and I'm gonna go straight for the U-turn, getting 15% there, and it's gonna allow me to go into the Garchomp. I could have gone straight to Darkrai here. I don't think it's great though. Dark Pulse does nothing to Hoopa. It's probably a free Heatran switch in as well. So I think just going into the Garchomp here and clicking EQ or Scale Shot is pretty safe. A Scale Shot's pretty safe. Here, could do a chip damage to Donphan and can make me faster than Thunderous Therian. So we see it's the Black Sludge on this Slowking. So this either going to be a chilly reception here or just a play switch. It's going to be the switch to the aforementioned Donphan, and we get a free Scale Shot off here. It's not going to do super much, but it is going to be an important chip that we will need later in the game here. Now we have a question though. This is probably always going to Alomola here. The reason I could went Wheezing though is it could EQ, but also I don't know if it has the ice move yet. It could not have an ice move. It could have a rock move. It could have something else as well. It could just be going for a rapid spin to be faster than something. So I think I want to go for Wheezing to scout here for potential ice moves because I do live them regardless, and then it's kind of and then I can go for like a Strange Steam or a Sludge Bomb here, and then I can just kind of pivot around. Aloe is probably better here, but in like hindsight now, but I think Weezing's an okay move here. We do see the Ice Spinner, so we know it's at least Rock Ice Spinner. It's gonna at least have EQ. So my assumption was Stealth Rock Ice Spinner EQ, and then I don't know if it has Rapid Spin or if it's Ice Shard. Because it does have Ice Shard, it could be dangerous for a Garchomp at Precip later. We have our leftovers here. We see it's not recovery here. That means it's boots. We're pretty sure. I'm going to switch right into Thunders here. I'm expecting an EQ, not an EQ, but I'm expecting a switch from Weezing either into the Heatran, which would be okay for me to have Thunders in because I have Focus Blast, or switch into the Torn. And we catch the Torn here. So this is a great spot to be in. Here, our counter for Torn is in. So I'm going to expect a U-turn here from this to get out of here and to try to go to Donphan. Here's where it starts to get a bit ropey. It goes for Tailwind. And I go for the Grass and I'm predicting the Donphan. That is really, really bad. Not only do I have no damage that this thing can just regen out, but I also have a free Tailwind, which means it outspeeds basically my whole team. That's an issue. I don't. In hindsight, I probably should always go for the Thunderbolt. There because even if it goes to Donphan, I am faster. I just get a free U-turn. I can go to Alomola and go from there. So this is always actually a really bad play. From myself, but also it's eject button, which is interesting. But now that it's allowing me to hoop in, and now I'm in a bit of trouble. This thing is now faster than me, and I pretty much die. But I have no switch in. I had no switch in to Choice Band Terra Dark, which I assumed Hyperspace Fury. So I have to let Thundurus go down, and I've now lost my Torncer because I click Grass Knot. If I click Thunderbolt, at least I get some damage on this before this gets in. Then I can sack this, but now I've got no damage on the Torn and gave him a free kill with Hoopa. Now the game isn't over, but it's not in a great spot here. I'm going to go straight to Alomola here, and I'm going to go for the Icy Win. A reason I'm going for the Icy Win is I need to be faster than this thing. And Tailwind. So we learn it's not Choice Band, which is great for me. Meaning Energy Ball is not going to kill crit. This is a very unfortunate crit, and this is the reason it's called Season 21 PTSD. Every time in Season 21, it got crit. Every single game. Come to this game, guess what? We're at add to the crit counter this season. We've been crit on Alomola again. So I get the Icy Win out, and I get the minus speed. Now I go for Protect here, knowing very much well Hyperspace Fury can go through it. But if he decides to go to Energy Ball or any other move, it's a good play. But also, I can't switch into Hyperspace Fury. There's no switch in I have. So at this point, if Alomola goes down, it's fine. And I've sacked 2 Pokemon this thing for no reason. Well, not no reason, but because I didn't click Thunderbolt. Goes Hyperspace Fury, goes checks, and I've lost not only my Thundurus and Alomola. So Torn is extremely scary for me. It's not unbeatable with Garchomp, but this thing is now a massive problem. Now here's where I'm going to make probably the biggest mistake of the game. Here. Looking at what Pokemon I have left first, I have a Cinderace, which is going to be faster, that has low kick, or U-turn, into a -2 defense Hoopa. I have a Garchomp, with Scale Shot that can set up that would kill this thing with probably an Earthquake after the Scale Shot damage, -2. I have a Wheezing, which is super effective into this thing, with Strange Steam. All three of those, great switch-ins. I don't know this thing's item, because I know it's not Choice Band. It's not taking recovery or anything. So in my head, I could assume it's Boots or AV. So what do? I send a Darkrai. This is probably the only move that is the only Pokemon that is inherently the complete wrong thing to send in. Uh, yeah, I mean, Weezing would have died probably, but this is just bad. Not only am I Terragraphing, I want to Tera Fairy Blast here. I know this thing can't kill me, so I'm gonna Tera, because I don't know if this thing has Drain Punch. If I click Nasty Plot, if it's AV, I still don't kill it. It's -2 defense. So I make a massive blunder here. I have to go for Nasty Plot, because I was thinking, oh, I have a chance with AV Nasty Plot, even though I had a calc next to me, and I should have known. And it's on Headbutts, predicting the Tera Dark, which is nuts. Well, very well played there with Shader. Like, very, very good prediction there. Full credit to Shader. One. It gets 60%. I'm like, okay, I get Tera Blast. And it doesn't kill. So then it's in Headbutts and it again. So I have thrown away 3 Pokemon to this Hoopa because A, I didn't use Thunderbolt. And then B, every other switch in minus the one I did was better. So now I'm in a 3v against 6. This thing's gonna die. My answer to Heatran, while this is okay. My Donphan answer, okay. Slowking I can answer. But I just genuinely lose to Wellspring and now. Like I don't there's nothing on my team unless I get like 2 crit scale shots and I somehow am able to set with Garchomp that can kill Wellspring. So I have to get extremely lucky to crawl myself back into this game. But it's not quite over yet. Garchomp's going to come in and get a free scale shot off. Meaning I have a +1 speed. So if he decides not to go to Donphan and maybe go into something else, I have a shot. Goes into Wellspring. Okay, I can go to Wheezing. This should be fine, right? Play Ralph, that's not going to kill anything. -1 attack, I'm special. This is going to be fine, right? Go for the Strange Steam predicting the Heatran. Get a little bit of chip on it. There we go. +6. Take the Willow, expecting it's turn in. Get a bit of more strange chip, just in case it was Chopple or anything. Get the chip I need. Switching the Cinderace here. It goes for the Willow. Then all you have to do is go for the low kick, and this thing dies. Content. I think it's going to switch out to Slowking Galar. Figured you have no reason to sack the Heatran here. It always beats Wheezing Galar. You can just go ahead, switch into the Slowking Galar, take the low kick. I'll switch into the Garchomp, and we'll play this game of inevitably switching until Wellspring ends up coming in and killing everything. So I go for the Fling Big Nugget, which is content, don't get me wrong, and pretty good content, to kill the Slowking Galar. Unfortunately, he stays in. Fling is not going to end up killing, but it's going to do a ton of damage, and then it would put it in low kick range still outside of Terra. Okay, so not the biggest drain in the world. I can live a Magnastorm, so well, it's great content. It's not great for me. I can live a Magnastorm. I'm not dead yet. And Magnastorm crits and I dies. I'm not going to lie, the crit sucks. It really does, but it's kind of deserved. The way I played that, which getting greedy for content and not digging, it's deserved. And I did make sure with that, this game is over. I have no way to beat the Wellspring. I have absolutely nothing to do, but I can go into Garchomp and I have to click Swords Dance. Because I have to click Swords Dance Scale Shot because that's my only way of winning. Will-O-Wisp, I'm gonna have to, which is gonna happen, and I'm gonna have to SD again. I didn't know I have a choice there. I gotta hope Play Rough misses. It doesn't kill, but I'm gonna die to the burn. My only chance there was have play rough miss, and then me hit the skill shot. See, and I got the crit. I would need to get, meaning, well, finding out the crit back that I needed the whole entire game. Way, way, way too late. Player misses, then I have a chance. EQ kills here. EQ may kill. Stone Age could crit, but now it's just over. I have nothing to touch this thing, and we're just skip to them using Psychic, and we're gonna lose 4-0 to Shader. I'm not gonna try. Well, I'm pretty hard on myself, as you can see through this. I'm not gonna take anything away from Shader. The Tailwind Hoop with Jackbone was a great bring against me, and full credit on that way. I made mistakes, and they took full advantage of it, as they should. So, well played by Shader here to get the 4-0. Full credit here, and then we're going to show the team here. This Hoopa did have Drain Punch, so the Tera Fairy was correct to do that. But they did predict the Zen Headbutt on the Tera Fairy, which, I mean, fair enough here. And with Max Special Tavia, I'm never killing Donphin there. But I would easily be able to kill anything else, or killing with Darkrai there, but I'd easily be able to kill anything else. My bad. It was not Ice Shard Donphan, it was Rapid Spin. So good news on my end. If I, again, kept the Garchomp alive, I probably could have killed the Donphan and got through there. Protect Pad was for the Alamo or something with and not to take rough skid damage. Slowking Galar, Chilly Reception had T-Wave, Psychic Sludge Bomb. Garchomp would have won that one. Heatran with max defense and HP, so I would have probably needed a bit more that wasn't low kick. And Magstorm definitely did not kill Cinderace, so that's, I mean, fair enough. Well played for them. And then the Wellspring SD, if I did let that, it did have SD Trailblaze, so there was no chance if I let that thing set up, which I was right. And the really core Tornadus, which, hey, it did its job. It just needed to tailwind and eject button, and it did its job. So great bring. GG's to Shader. Good luck for the rest of the season. We are going to fall to 2-1. Next week, we take on Sought, an always player with a team that had a trade that was pretty controversial, in my opinion. So we'll see if we'll be able to beat that next week. But for everyone else, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you all next week.